We are on Act 3 of the Twilight Flood, Part 21, Disaster, Tea, and Revelations on the 31st of the Astral Moon. It was really cute. Yeah, it was really cute to wrap it up. Dave is doing well as well, it seems. We got the achievement Archiving, which seems to be rare. It doesn't say what the achievement is for, but only 3.8% of the players have this achievement, so that's cool. I haven't seen these two in a long time, so it's neat that they're back. Welcome. We don't have time for this, innkeeper. Disaster is afoot. What a wonderful way to start the morning, Tia. I really missed you. We missed you too. Thank you, Clay. Can I offer you a drink in exchange for a little insight into your disasters? Yes. Something that feels strong and magic-y, right? You remembered. Yes, that one, please. Coming right up. Clay is such a precious cinnamon bun. He's so wonderful. Alright, we're gonna go with something high in strength. So let's go with a Southern Brawler. Yes, we do want 1 point of charisma. And 3 points of strength. And a little bit of defense. Southern Brawler. Is he a golem? I don't know if he was a golem or like an ogre half-orc thing. Let me see. What was he? He's been gone so long I don't even remember. He is a giant / earth echo. Alright, something tasty and strong, but hopefully not disastrous. With a name like Clay, yeah, it's really fitting. An earth echo. I'm guessing an earth echo is like just this, this game's version of an elemental. Very tasty, very strong. You've really got the best drinks around. Happy to hear that, Clay. Tia, you're bursting at the seams. How were the archives? Horrifying. They were challenging, certainly. The bleak stalkers were... Bleak? You're truly a master of words. The entrance Jade told us about was teeming with countless of those nightmare creatures. But we fought our way through with the strength that you lent us and snuck inside the half-collapsed tunnel, only to find even more bleak stalkers had infested the Everbloom's insides. I wouldn't call it infesting, they live there. Clay tried to reason with them. They responded by tearing into him with their rows of sharp teeth. Not everyone wants to be your friend, I guess. They kept trying to bite Tia too, so I got angry and helped her fight. Do you regret it? No, I'm glad I helped out. Thanks to your unsanctioned divine blessings, innkeeper, we cut through them like butter. Unsanctioned to you. Audacity isn't a replacement for a license. We were quite spent after clearing out so many monsters, and Clay suggested we take a break, though we made sure not to waste too much time. We had to make it back in time for the barbecue after all. That meant we had to be efficient during our search. Large parts of the Everbloom had collapsed, but even the explorable sections were unbelievably spacious. So we split up to cover more ground. A dangerous choice. That's when the monsters get you. That's what Clay said, so I enchanted the friendship bracelets. Oh my goodness, they're wearing the friendship bracelets. It's so cute. The resting bitch face is strong with that one. Oh yeah, definitely. She takes her like cleric-y business very seriously. I'm actually shook if she is still wearing the friendship bracelets. That way, they would always sense in which direction the other person was located, so neither of us would get lost. It was so smart. It was very useful. I see you kept yours on. I did. They really helped with navigating around the archives, too. It's a beautiful place, you know? I mean, everything's overgrown with vines or withered and full of termites, but we could still tell how much care had gone into building it. Some of the tree branches still had leaves on them, and I saw a couple of stubborn lotus daisies trying to break through around the rocks. I watered them. Maybe they'll grow stronger again soon. What a shame all the effort that went into building the archives was for nothing. But it wasn't. It meant something to someone once. And I could still feel that love in it, even during our visit. Maybe it'll even bloom again. It's called the Everbloom, right? Like forever? I wonder who named it. We should go back sometime and see if we can find any information about the archivist. I bet they knew some great drinking games. Perhaps we should honor their contributions by studying the knowledge they left behind. Why not both? They should be people first, symbols second. Oh, yes, I guess both would work too. Good idea, Clay. What else did you find in the archives? Besides the beauty and horrors of time, I mean. I found a book of pressed flowers I can't wait to read. And a recipe. A recipe? An incomplete one. We also tried to translate it properly, but we lacked the necessary reference material. We still thought it appropriate to bring you the draft. I'm sure you can do something worthwhile with it. I'm sure I can. Thank you very much. Recipe unlocked. The Last Whisper. That's ominous. The Last Whisper makes me fast, strong, and tough? Question mark. If too much, equal bad. If just enough, equal tasty. Don't forget cute skull. Enter correct spell here. Lorem ipsum dolor sit amet. Consetatur satisfacting. Perfect. As for me, I found a well-hidden study. Man, Twitch is shitting the bed on me. I'm gonna restart everything. Okay, no problem. I totally understand. Twitch has actually been a fucking nightmare for me, too. I was trying to get, like, Twitch drops on something, and I think I watched it for, like, 10 hours, and the percentage bar did not move. I was like, that's fantastic. It's wonderful. Alright, as for me, I found a well-hidden study. The bleak stalker guarding it fell to my ambush, and I was free to explore. It was a complete mess, full of scriptures, scrolls, and written ramblings that would be forbidden these days. A little exciting. And worrying. The papers I was able to translate spoke of the apocalypse, of the end of it all. There was research on the roots of the ether tree, and how to unbind them, written with shaking hands and fading ink. Was this more the scholarly or mad scientist type of research? Hard to tell. The lines tend to blur with blasphemy. Do you know a lot about the ether tree? Because Tia gave me a whole presentation about it. I wouldn't mind a refresher. It's a giant tree. Good start. A world tree. That means our world rests on it. In it? Around it? Somewhere? In it, mostly. Depends on who you ask. No, not just you, for sure. The dragons guard the tree because they created it? Maybe, but definitely because they care for us. And since we live in it, it should keep existing as it does now, because no one wants their house to crumble. A lot of people would get hurt if something happened to everyone's home. Character information unlocked for Clay. Clay, where the heck are you? There he is. Adorable. Even a big guy like him needs a bit of encouragement and positive reinforcement sometimes. I think he and Miss Anwar are definitely a good team. They even have matching friendship bracelets. Now they just have to wear them. Clay also loves good food and would never want to miss a delicious barbecue. That's true, but luckily for us, damaging the ether tree isn't possible. It's larger than we could ever imagine. To us, it's really more of a concept than a tree. And the dragons defend it, despite their oath of neutrality. They're no easy foes. There is one way. The sigils of Alcahest. The what now? The sigils of Alcahest. They're the key to destroying the ether tree, according to the scrolls I studied under the archive's candlelight. Are they some sort of spell? More of a manual to a self-fulfilling prophecy, a way of breaking the cosmos in accordance with its own rules. For the tree to crumble, its foundation must be fractured. The 5 sigils of Alcahest represent the 5 dragons, each of which must be damaged to topple our world's balance. Only then can our cosmos reshape itself. The scrolls spoke of experiments for creating a sigil. Unsuccessful experiments. That's reassuring. Not quite. They were only unsuccessful back then. Next to the notes of old, I found others, written on cleaner, newer parchment with unfaded ink. Much of it was incomprehensible, written in languages I've never seen before. But various sketches of whales caught my eye, as did altered frostbite scrolls. That sounds unsettlingly familiar. I fear that the starfall broke a sigil. By ripping holes into Cassiopeia's wings, it destabilized her flight. If she's damaged any further, time could be sent into disarray. Meanwhile, the tsunami, like I heard, didn't just plague the archives. The waves broke down the barriers between the primordial sea and the Twilight chasm in ways never seen before. So that's 2 broken sigils? That's not good. What an incredible understatement. To witness such a sigil fracture would be anxiety-inducing enough. Knowing it has happened to 2 will keep me up for many nights. It's not 2, it's 3. 3? Alongside the notes, I found an old map with fresh markings. All the names were outdated, but the intention was clear. Marked were the 5 interplanar portals. 30 years ago, their sudden appearance tore fissures into Gaia. I believe they were the first sigil. Bad, right? Very. Who could have done this? I don't know. And why, of all things? If the ether tree collapsed or even shifted from its perfect balance, the destruction would end us all. Who would want that? No one thinking rationally, that's for sure. They might have a good reason for it. Maybe we can talk them out of it? I doubt it. Me too. Whoever it may be that's causing this, they only have 2 sigils left. Would be quite bad, right? Don't they say that waking the Elder Dragon will start the apocalypse? They do. I feel like there's too many ways to start the apocalypse. Maybe they're all connected, and waking will break the last sigil. Although, I'd like to think breaking all the sigils is indeed impossible. Because it's impossible to reach Tuat in the spirit realm, correct? It's not exactly impossible. One can make it to the spirit dragon via the astral sea at the dawn of the dying moon. That's in 5 days, right? Yes, but worry not. To reach such a specific location within the astral realm, very specific rituals are necessary. And Gaia's portal to Cassiopeia is indispensable. Said portal is located in and safely protected by the Aperture, the stronghold of the Order of Starlight. And its rituals must be performed with outstanding accuracy to withstand the treacherous astral currents. Only the highest-ranking members of the Order are privy to this knowledge. And I guarantee you, all of us would rather die than aid in the destruction of this world. If the rest of them are half as stubborn as you are, I think we're well protected. Exactly. That's good then. The rest is worse, and we unlocked a rumor breaking the sigils. To reach Tuat, one has to go through a number of overly complicated rituals. Good thing no one cleric would ever aid in something like that. What's bad is that we don't know who's behind this. Or why. By the dragons and the endless horizon, anyone would desire something so vile. I can already sense your next quest. But can I offer you a drink first? Your throat must be dry from all that exposition. I know mine is. His shoulders skull clattering with fear. I know, it's so silly. It's really distracting, actually. I wouldn't say no to a drink. Perhaps something that will keep my mind intact. Defend it from lunacy. I feel like I'm going mad. Say no more. So we're gonna do a strong defense drink. I'm doing the easy ones again because I don't want to do infusions. I don't feel like doing the math it takes to do infusions. We will worry about the infusions when they go on major quests. Order up 1 Frosted Lagoon. Ta-da! A delicious defense against the absurdity of evil plots. Thank you. This makes me feel a little less conspiratorial. I needed a breather. You know what else would make for a great breather? Fable's barbecue. Exactly. But Fable's not back! You're right. That would be quite pleasant right now. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think the barbecue is happening today. Fable hasn't returned from their quest yet. Oh. What quest are they on? Finding Melina? But we just saw Millie on the way here. Perhaps they found another quest while out. Heroism can be infectious like that. Innkeep, what kind of drink did you mix them? None. Maybe we should go look for them. Maybe so. Please do. No one has seen them in days. And the last thing I said to them, I hate for those words to stay the last. Please help me find them. Of course, I'm sure they could slay any monsters without us, but some extra hands couldn't hurt. But you'll have to deliver your apologies yourself. I'll slay that beast when it comes to it. Very well. But first we must solve our urgent sigil problem. If feel like we're just missing one piece. Oh my god! Kyle's back! A piece of what? Cake? Why do you still have slimes on you? I'd like to order my usual cake, innkeeper. I don't serve cake. Never have. Oh! Maybe you should. Another delicious delicacy would be... Also, still no blood. Oh. The sorrow I'm feeling almost equals the grief I felt after the vampire glitter competition of 1389. Oh? I had run out of glitter. I could serve you one of my usual drinks to alleviate some of that heartache. He does. He still has his slimes. Like, boy, will you take a bath, please? That would be splendid. I'd like something to enhance my immortal strength. No shopping bags shall hold me back today. I'll see what I can do. I missed Kyle so much. I was so worried something bad had happened to him. But he's fine. Again, I want something with no inclusions. Southern Brawler. It's also red, and he likes red because red looks like blood. His little pea brain won't notice the difference. It's fine. Kyle! Ta-da! Here, with all the strength of a raging fire. Thank you, dear innkeeper. My blood is boiling with euphoria. Any particular reason for your shopping trip? A very particular one, dear innkeeper. It is a matter of life and death. I must head out to purchase this wondrous sustenance known as comfort food immediately. Do you know what comfort food is? I haven't the slightest idea. But it is rumored to restore you mortals back to full health. I'm afraid Rhea will perish should she not receive it. That sounds serious. Has she fallen ill? A fatal case of something she called being in the zone. I'm assuming it's highly dangerous. She's refused to move away from her drawing board for over a year now. She even threw me out of the room upstairs when I offered her a blood pellet snack. How will her body handle another year without food? I have some good news for you. Rhea hasn't been sketching for a year. You guys checked in yesterday. How fortunate! And as for your legendary item, you should ask her about it. Generally, everyone has a different idea of what they consider comfort food. How wondrous! Though, something tells me you should give her some time before you go back upstairs to ask. Why? Call it intuition. I don't think intuition is a very good name, innkeeper. Want me to help find a better one? Of course! I'll think of one before the next 80 years are up. Thank you. I shall remain for a while. And once I have acquired the correct comfort food, I will make sure my friend eats every last bite. Like a vampiric mother hen to her vampiric chick. I didn't know there were vampire chickens. There aren't. Do you know that for certain? Yes. I could have sworn the ones at my family's estate had fangs. Chickens can't develop teeth. And here I had thought we were comrades in blood hunger. Chickens are still very fascinating all on their own. Did you know they have a very colorful dreams? Oh, that's nice. I once helped a wild hen with her dream journal. I'll introduce you to sometime. My favorite thing about chickens is that they purr when they're happy. What charming creatures! The more I learn, the more they remind me of vampires. I do love chickens and vampires, so I love that. So simple, sweet, and ferocious, yet their origin harbors one of the greatest mysteries of life. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg? I don't know, the egg? Alethea has no answer. Not gonna weigh in? I am intellectually withdrawing myself from this conversation. But unlike this unsolved mystery, I do not know how vampires were created. Would you mind elaborating? Weren't you intellectually withdrawing? As a cleric of Cassiopeia, humility is a lifelong objective that I strive towards. As such, I must admit when I need to concede words spoken in haste, which would be now, I suppose. Please, Kyle, if you wouldn't mind expanding on what you just said. Certainly. It must have been over 5 centuries ago when a scholar stole some of the immortal blood of the dragons. The scholar offered it to Queen Annabeth, who would become the vampire's monarch. I've never heard of Queen Annabeth. I think that was just the plot of a really challenging board game, Kyle. Oh, you're right. So then, Mike was real after all. Mike? Yes! It's all coming back to me now. Kyle, you are so dumb. The first vampire that walked this world was the infamous Mikhail. But most of us called him Mike. He had a very close connection to the spirit dragon in his domain. Eventually, Mike struck a deal with Tuat. In exchange for guarding the dragon's realm, he would get to live forever. But that didn't work out, I guess? Old Mike didn't read the fine print. The spirit dragon turned out to be a trickster. Tuat turned him into a new form of undead creature, invulnerable to age and disease, but still weak to the blade. Blood was the only thing he could stomach to consume, and with time even sunlight became intolerable. Mike was no longer welcome among the living, but the dead didn't want him either. And that's how the first vampire was created. Fascinating. There's so little known about the spirit dragon in his realm. Kyle, just how did you possess the knowledge that's considered ancient by today's standards? What knowledge? The knowledge you just told us about. Ah! I stumbled upon it in a grimoire I bought the other day at the local bookstore. Nope, that was the vampire romance book Lynn recommended you. Try again. I love him, he's so stupid. But of course. Dear Evelyn was such a history fanatic. How could I not pick up on a few stories? That was one of her favorites. I still dream of her deathly beautiful countenance as she narrated tales until the intruders stopped screaming. She always told the story of our progenitor, Mike, so softly. She would cradle a vial of his blood, and her tone would turn so reverent. A secret to share just with me, she would say. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to break the last oath between us as well. I'm sure we can help you keep this a secret, right? A secret between friends. If secrecy is how we can repay you for sharing this with us, then so be it. Since you seem to have been very close to her, I wanted to let you know. We traveled past Marrow Castle on our way back. It looked awfully damaged. The destruction looked so fresh, if only we had passed by earlier. Clay even spotted a heavily armored silhouette of a short distance away from what remained of the castle walls. Knowledge? What knowledge, right? Not a single brain cell. We hurried over as quickly as possible, but the shadow was gone by the time we got there. As it was, only rubble remained. Oh, he's so upset. Was my dear Evelyn unharmed? We don't know. The castle looked abandoned, like a ruin. My Evelyn, what a horrid fiend could have inflicted such damage. She must have fought back fiercely. May her opponents suffer twice the damage they inflicted upon her. What I wouldn't give to know her safe. I think I need to go ask Rhea about her comfort food. Information unlocked on Kyle. Despite his short and often fragmented memory, he has extensive knowledge of the origins of all vampires, which could be expected when you're a vampire yourself, I suppose. Even though he still seems to be caught up in his long-lost marriage, he really took a liking to the person who dug him up. Did Rhea dig him up? Let's give him some time to come to terms with what he just learned. Caelin's back. We got another achievement called Burnout. 5.8% of players have this achievement. Greetings, brave adventurer. What's that noise? That's his spine. Indeed. Oh, are you alright? Worry not, friend. 'Tis but a scratch. So, about my drink order. How about telling me what's going on first? And returning to a proper order of conversation. Apologies, friend. Might have jumped the crossbow there. Let us recount our tale properly, Dame Caelin. Don't think there's much to tell, honestly. You look exhausted. Are you wanting some rest, then? No, just wanting a drink. That can be arranged. Something to regain my strength. A good one might net you a story. No pressure, Lynn. Let's do a southern brawler, then. Yeah, that'll do. Ta-da! Southern Brawler. I think I need a drink as well. A great drink for a great story. Aren't you lucky? I'd like to think luck has nothing to do with it. Perhaps not. I might have something else to cheer you up. Oh? Melly's back. Oh! Relieved? Like a great sword's been lifted off my shoulders. Is she alright? Character information unlocked on Lynn. Who would have thought such a fearless warrior never learned how to swim, but I'm sure her newly found family will teach her. Eventually, seems like the lone wolf is not so lonely after all. Lynn definitely lives up to her Baba's heritage, even if she herself doesn't see it yet. I feel like we unlock these like little character snippets at weird times. Like it knows things we don't know yet. Alright. You might prefer to see for yourself. She and Dave left me their address to give you. Who? You know them. Right, got it. Only one person would fit such an uninspired name. Humph. They'd better have apologized to Melly or else. You'll have to find out the details for yourself. Just don't keep them waiting for too long. Don't need to tell me that. Fable isn't back then. No. Sure are taking their time. Feel like looking for them yet? No. They're capable. Just my patience is starting to wear thin. You had some to begin with? You're pretty chatty for someone within greatsword distance. Aw, she won't hit me, right? Can I interest you in one of my drinks as well, Skully? With an offer like that, my friend, how can a skeleton say no? Perhaps something to enhance my aura? I would like to do the proclamation of this tale proper justice. Alright, so we're gonna go with something charisma-y. Yeah, spoken heart. So, 1, 2, 3. A little bit of attack and a little bit of defense. Ding ding, spoken heart. Ta-da! Please enjoy. Oh my. They say manners maketh man, but this drink alone has invigorated me plenty. I can almost feel the warmth of my flesh on my bones again. Pleasure to be of service? You seem awfully eager to talk about this. And you're not? Was it no help in alleviating that accursed boredom? It was eventful, alright. Just lacking a sense of accomplishment, I guess. But no use continuing this pity party. Let's start telling the story I know you're itching for. Much obliged. We started by making our way westwards, though our progress was slow. Any complications? Yes, quite a few. Before embarking on the journey, I was woefully ignorant about the plight of the Phesoan farmers. The less than ideal weather conditions, the flood that ruined a lot of crops, and now this pesky undead problem. I was stricken with empathy for their struggle. The least we could have done was offer up our means of transportation for any soul looking for a better life further north. So we switched carriages. 3 times. By the 3rd time we had gotten so far, of course, it took us a whole day just to get back on track. On foot. But once our hike was over, we did get to spend a wonderful afternoon with Dame Caelin's cousin, Lady Danica. That was nice, I guess. The cousin with the undead snail problem, yes? Did you manage to liven up that garden for her? Sure did. Just had to set out some cabbage to lead them somewhere we wouldn't be damaging any crops, and they were vanquished with just one magnificent blessed strike. Truly a sight to behold. It was just some undead snails, no need to have gotten so excited. To match the excitement, Lady Danica served us some positively delightful cups of tea. Better than any accompanying finger sandwiches were some new facts I had gleaned from observing the snails. Even lacking souls, they still displayed some pack behavior. They acted nothing like real animals, of course, but somehow I was struck with the empathy for their plight. To unconsciously seek out a manner of instinctual action, despite the lack of anything to grant them a conscious objective. Is there a more transparent yearning for purpose than that? My apologies. It appears what they say about old age is true. You can't help but philosophize. And you couldn't help but relate? In a way, one can't help but wonder whether any choice I make is truly my own, or just a post-mortem reflex of these old bones. Perhaps even my thirst for knowledge. And yet your enjoyment of it seems genuine. Truly, innkeeper, you have a way with words. Just lots of experience. Though that may be, my worries seem rather foolish now. I count myself as quite fortuitous that despite all that my memory lacks, I can delight in learning it all again. Does it really matter, then, where such an urge comes from? Anyhow, my apologies, Dame Caelin. I completely derailed our epic tale. Allow me to make up for it by continuing post-haste. We departed after that lovely cup of tea and finally headed for the Pale Woods. Lady Danica provided us with a cart and a trusty steed, a cow with the most lovely temperament. Her name's Lizelette. Our host also gifted us this delightfully lucky charm so that no evil would hurt us or Lizelette on our way. But now that our little adventure is over, we thought we'd give it to you instead. Some extra luck never hurts. Oh, it's a cat! Oh my goodness. That's so cute. That's an adorable little fella. Thank you very much. Glad you like it. I apologize. I derailed again. Where was I? Ah, our journey. I made sure to greet the gentleman that passed us on our way to the woods. What magnificent shadow armor he was wearing. Something about it felt oddly familiar. I don't like that. Perhaps it was only my hope that he would look just as gallant after our quest. Lizelette valiantly took us to the edge of the forest, where maliciousness permeated the very air we breathed. What he means is it stunk. Real bad. We left Lizelette there. Sparing her the stench seemed like the right thing to do. And forth we ventured. Didn't take a long time to find what we were looking for. The place was crawling with them. Which also explained that, she's swearing, smell. For some reason, the miasma didn't seem to bother me as much. Could it be the lack of a nose? Most respectfully, you don't have a nose. Oh, of course. Anyways. With a flower crown? Yes, a cute little cat with a flower crown. I love it. There was a veritable horde before us, an army of undead creatures shambling their way through the forest. One odd tree at a time. They were awfully interested in those trees, it's true. At that point, I was ready to start decimating their numbers. And I would have done so if Skully hadn't held me back just as I was unsheathing my sword. I was keen to observe them for a moment longer. The undead creatures were displaying similar patterns to those snails. They weren't just stumbling around senselessly. They seemed to be following a pack leader. Maybe there was a non-violent solution left at hand after all. I convinced Dame Caelin to hold off on the violence for just a bit longer. I was still working out the best point from which to attack him. Couldn't hurt to try out Skully's idea first. Except it did hurt. Yeah. While Dame Caelin remained hidden in the shadows of the thicket, I walked up to the leader, another skeleton, making sure I displayed an open and respectful disposition. I suppose they were not open and respectful in return. Nope. Before I could even react, the skeleton had bitten down on Skully's arm. Agony! Without putting much thought into it, I threw one of my knives. Sorry. I only realized later that the knife I threw was one I accidentally had taken from here. How will my tavern ever survive this? I already said I'm sorry. You could always compensate me for it. Actually, Andu's bucket needs to be cleaned out. Keep dreaming. Ouch. Shot down so quickly. If it kept you too safe, then I'm glad you accidentally took it. Thankfully, your drink did its job wonderfully as well. Their teeth were unable to leave even a scratch on me. Dame Caelin was as fast as the wind, and she got me away from the hungry undead. And so, our fierce battle began. With ease, Dame Caelin took out several of them at once. Would have been easier if I hadn't had to carry you. My apologies, I was still mourning the breakdown in communication. But I got back on my feet eventually. Before long, we were both battling off swarms of the undead. They seemed endless. For every undead creature we defeated, 2 would take their place, dragging the battle on. If I know one thing about fighting, it's that you need to watch your stamina. We wouldn't last forever, but our enemies could. One of them cleaved me straight in half. I was lucky Dame Caelin caught my upper body. But I'm fairly certain we mixed up the order of some of my thoracic vertebrae when we put me back together. Still, being held in her arms put me in the perfect position for a strategy meeting. I thought back to how we had dealt with those snails. We felt like I needed to maximize the impact of my blessed strikes, and fell them all with just one. So we baited them, and ran leading them to a nearby clearing. My separated legs rounded up the ones that didn't fall for the first baiting. And once at the clearing I reunited with myself, luring them all towards the center. As all of the undead creatures gathered around my two halves, the sky cleared up. And like a crash of thunder, the sound of Dame Caelin's descending from the sky, or a tree, was all that could be heard. For a moment, my eyeholes were completely blinded by the radiance of that blessed strike. You're exaggerating. I like it. Sounds very heroic. It was. Don't think it counts when what I did was essentially pointless. Did the strike not land? It did. While the strike hit home, I realized most of the creatures could be resurrected again at any point. It's a shame, truly. Even though we fought so valiantly. Oh! But we did get you something else as well, innkeeper. Right. Here. The trees looked really chewed on, and dead. But the berries seemed like they were thriving. They're the ones Elfie was going on about. Not like they're here to appreciate them now, so I guess you can have them. Just set some aside to make Fable a drink when they're back. Sounds fair. We got ghost berries. I like how we're getting all the spooky stuff now. Ghost berries are nearly translucent and only grow deep within the moon swamp for the first few months every year. They're safe to eat, but rather sour in taste, and they grant invisibility. The perfect aid for stealth quests, as well as hunting. Very helpful for avoiding fights entirely. It was very kind of you to bring them back for your friend. Yeah, it was. I still wonder what all those undead creatures were doing there. No idea. Hunger? Though it did look like they were going somewhere. Seemed to be heading north. Maybe they were searching for more trees? The Pale Woods is one of the largest forests in Phesoa. I don't see a reason for them to leave the area before it was barren. Unless they were ordered to. Don't they typically come with a necromancer attached? Oh my, they do, and... You don't suppose that gentleman we encountered on the outside of the woods could have been that very necromancer? I don't think farmers wear armor like what you described. Fuck. Just realized where they could be heading. It's true there aren't many woods around that part that compare to the Pale Woods, but that giant root in the capital must look pretty good to some tree-obsessed undeads. Fuck indeed. Rumor unlocked. High fiber task. These undead can't seem to get enough fiber. What better tree to chomp down than that of the aether tree itself? What could possibly go wrong? That's not great. That could be another sigil. Just to clarify, you believe hordes of undead creatures are marching towards the capital? Well, towards the roots would be my guess. I see. They're heading towards Themis to gnaw at the divine roots, as if to... fell the aether tree? Precisely. Not that such an action alone could destroy the whole thing, but it certainly would do some damage. What in the fuck are you talking about? As I stated, someone is trying to destroy the aether tree. The starfall, the primordial flood, even the interplanar portals, it's all part of a big plot. Was that not clear? No. Oh my, that's awful. And insane if true. Is it working? Unfortunately so. Or do you see stars in the night sky? I mean, there's one. There used to be more. And we don't know who's behind it yet either. Well... Caelin, Mr. Skully, the gentle person you greeted outside the woods, you thought he might be the necromancer? He certainly bore the armor of one. Did he seem like he wanted to kill everyone? Not particularly, though it can be hard to tell sometimes. Politeness and the desire for homicide aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Necromancers resurrect dead things to make undead creatures. Indeed they do. So, Skully, you were resurrected, right? Do you remember anything about it? Well... I admit, at first I recalled very little from the start of my new life. I mostly stumbled about trying to remember my manners. But my memories, or rather the memories of my body, which I suppose are also my memories, have been getting clearer. New character information unlocked for Skully. Where are you at, Skully? He's very interested in studying other undead since he strangely returned to life sentient, not as a lifeless puppet. Skully tried to strike up a conversation with other zombies, and while doing so, spotted the very necromancer he had seen when he awoke. Presumably, he resurrected others too. Oh boy. Let me try to focus my thoughts. I believe I awakened in the archives, in the Everbloom. The Everbloom? Are you sure? Who woke you up? Gentleman of fine age. I believe he was there to do research. I remember candles held over notes scribbled on paper, ink stains on fingertips. He must have found me near my friend's study. I remember I was looking for her when... After I woke, I simply left. How rude and uninquisitive of me. I should have asked what he was researching. I could have helped. Be glad you did not aid him. We found his notes. They spoke of the destruction of the universe. Did the guy from the woods remind you of the one in the archives? Now that you mention it... I wasn't conscious enough to recognize faces when I rose, but I knew the armor looked familiar. I think I saw it when I first reopened my eyes. Metaphorically, of course, I no longer have eyelids. A necromancer is behind all of this? Is he trying to break the sigils just to get to Tuat, the spirit dragon, and the realm of death? Sigils? Are you perchance speaking of the sigils of Alcahest? My friend was researching them once. I always thought them a wild figment of her imagination. Seems like they're not, unfortunately. Do necromancers usually want to destroy Tuat? No, but they do defy his laws of life and death. Perhaps he craves access to all the souls in the spirit dragon guards. Or he plans to destroy death once and for all with his perversions. But my dears, to destroy Tuat, one must find him first. That in itself would be quite the impossible task, no? Not exactly. The spirit realm is well protected, but there are ways to get to him. Can you kill death? I don't know, but merely attempting it sounds disastrous. Miss Anwar, Mr. Moore, Tuat is the god of death. No matter how insane this necromancer, no one could possess a weapon powerful enough to fight a god. Only weapons made by dragons can harm them. We all know this. You mean like Ur's great axe? A weapon forged for the dragons by the dragons meant only for their claws? The axe. It could certainly cut through the barrier between the astral sea and the upper world, if not through Tuat himself. Would stealing an axe from a dragon count as a sigil? Alright, y'all lost me again. I talked about this already. Keep up. I'll explain later. It might count as a sigil if it awakens or damages their plane. Should not be awakened under any circumstances. Nor should their legendary weapon fall into the hands of a mere mortal. My, this is quite concerning. I'm right there with you. This seems like too insane of a plot, even for some big bad evil guy. They always seem to be reaching for new heights in their dastardly schemes. If we are correct, this one plans to steal Ur's weapon, break their sigil, and then destroy Tuat. Dragons be with us. What about the undead creatures marching towards the capital? They must be a distraction, a way to keep anyone who would interfere off his back. Quite the dangerous distraction, if you ask me. Shouldn't be snacking away at those roots either, should they? No. And those sigils of alcohol. The zest you keep talking about. Could do what? Destroy the tree? The spirit realm rests above all others in the canopy of our world. If what we believe to be this monster's plan succeeds, it will collapse down onto the rest of the Aether Tree. Not only would that Not only would that free all dead souls, it would destroy the tree, our home, our cosmos, and everything below it. It would destroy our world as we know it. Not to mention Tuat might die. I don't think I have to explain to you why death dying would be a bad thing. Once again, can he die? Wouldn't risk it. Though, I believe this plot of his has to be limited somewhat, no? Perhaps to the transitional period between the astral moon and the dying moon? Only then would the veil between Cassiopeia and Tuat be thin enough for a ritual of such magnitude to succeed. Wait, what you mean is this can only happen the night between the 35th of Cassiopeia and the 1st of Tuat? So it can only work in 4 days, or next year. Precisely. I guess you can't have a ritual without unnecessarily complicated rules. It is common courtesy. Clay, I've been wondering, remember that man we saw on our way back near Marrow Castle? Yes, do you think he might have been the same guy? I do. Strange armor sounds familiar, as does the convenient proximity to destruction. And more so, that blood of the first vampire Kyle spoke of. Part of the ritual to safely traverse the astral sea involves having an associated anchor for your destination. To find Tuat, you need something connected to him. Like the blood of a vampire eternally bound to him? Yes, maybe our villain got his hands on it. Perhaps he knows more of Cassiopeia than I anticipated. All this out of context shit is giving me a headache. Innkeep, got another drink to spare to help with all this mess? Something powerful enough to get me through this? Anything for you, Lynn. Alright, what's Lynn want? Do another Southern Brawler. So 3 points of strength. 1 point of charisma. And a point of defense. And that will be our Southern Brawler. I put all the strength I have into this drink. Enjoy. I think you just put parts of my sanity back together. Thanks a lot. Anytime. So, this madman, if he can't get the axe, he can't kill the spirit dragon, right? Correct. Great. Let's stop him from getting the axe then. Great idea. I know. Now how do we do that? Well, first the necromancer needs to find it. For that, he'd have to get to Ur's realm. Thanks to the portals, that is entirely within the realm of possibility. One would simply have to journey through one of the portals to be in the Twilight Chasm, and then enter the endless caves through the Nightmare realm. Nothing easier than that. Didn't Melly see some weird new boneway markers near the Twilight Chasm portal to the Moon Swamps? Could they be there to remind someone, say a necromancer, of the way to the portal? They could. Good. The moon pools are much easier to reach than Boreas. We should catch the necromancer before he ventures into the chasm, and most certainly before he gets the axe. Great. Let's go beat his ass. Hold on. What if you don't succeed? I have faith in you, but he sounds powerful. How about a backup plan? Hate to say it, but you're not wrong. Thanks for looking out for us. If we don't manage to stop him from getting the weapon, we stand no chance in fighting against him. Even your divine strikes would be no match, Miss Anwar. That is true. We would need an incredibly powerful weapon to match his. Not sure if it's enough, but I do have this sword I got from my Baba. Let me see it. This is remarkable craftsmanship, infused with minor divine powers. Incredible. But I'm afraid even this cannot rival the Great Axe in any capacity. What if it was mixed with dragonfire? What? Do you happen to have such a thing on hand, young lad? No, but I know where we can find some. The ever-burning flame in the Highlands is dragonfire. The one you wanted to see, Tia. I think now might be a good time for that. You're right, dragonfire merged with Caelin's blessed sword. It wouldn't be as powerful as the axe, but it might give us a fighting chance. If we had a master craftsmanship to forge it, that is. Rhea, she's a blacksmith. Would be great for her competition. Yeah, my sword would get her first place, no question. I'll make sure to bring that up while trying to convince her. Thanks for the idea. Very well. I'm sure Master Smith Frostgrip will be delighted with this opportunity. Having her on our side makes me even more confident that we can stop this necromancer's plans. I have the utmost faith in us, and I know the aperture and its astral portal are well protected even if we should fail. Though I don't believe we will. Because I know I'm strong enough to best this battle, and that Clay is as well. And the others too. Yes, the others too. I'll be honest, I'm not sure if the 4 of you will be enough. Don't worry, there's a lot of people we can ask for help. Like you. Like me? Ask away. I knew we could count on you. You collect everything we talk about, right? I try my best. Could you write us up 2 quests for all this? I think we should split our resources so we get the backup plan going at the same time. Good idea, young man. Plus that'll give us an excuse to have your drinks help us. Not that you need an excuse, but I appreciate you following my rituals. I'll see what I can do. I should have something written up first thing in the morning. I trust in you as you trust in us. Cautiously? Exactly. Cautiously, but with hope. With hope, yes. We'll see you in the morning then. Caelin, come with us. We owe you a few explanations before we make you do any persuasion work for us. You got that right. Let's go. I cannot miss out on more possible details. I shall see you in the morning, Innkeep. Thank you for all your help. Let's save the world, all right? Let's, Clay. Good luck. All right. A stranger has come to town. He likes plum crepes and spooky armor. Let's see. So we know we have a quest to go get a sword. Let's see. This one is for the undead. This one is probably for the undead. This is for the great axe. Okay. Let's see. The undead marching towards the capital are a mere distraction. Unfortunately, that does not make them any less dangerous. The capital is wrapped in roots protected by the divine, according to a myth as ancient as time. These are the roots of the ether tree, and the undead can't seem to get enough fiber. What better tree to chomp down than the ether tree itself? What could possibly go wrong? So, the Dead Parade. A horde of undead is approaching the capital. Their insatiable hunger for the local flora leads them to the exposed roots of the ether tree, and therefore to the capital of Themis. Since it lies nestled in the safety of the roots, this is a mere distraction so the necromancer can fulfill his true plan. But the undead still must be stopped before they hunger for flesh once more. So that's one. Let's see. Legend has it, the Great Axe of lies hidden somewhere deep inside the subterranean caves. It's an unimaginably powerful weapon. Only a weapon forged with dragonfire can resist another draconic's power. Hopefully the ever-burning flame lives up to its name. Legends or clerics say the first flame Leviathan ever bestowed upon mankind still burns in the Temple Highlands. Cool. Nope. Okay. Let's see. Man, Carolin's greatsword once belonged to her grandmother. Allegedly, it's a gift from the dragons themselves. Very impressive if true. Okay, so this is about the Plane of This is about the Great Axe of Let's try this one. There we go. Okay, the Twilight Chase. World calamity is imminent, but there is one last way to save it. The only weapon strong enough to harm Tuat and the Ether Tree is the legendary Great Axe of and the personification of evil wants it desperately. But first he must make it through the Twilight Chasm, and for that he needs a portal. Sounds like a good location to stop him, right? Good, good. Okay, so... Carolin's grand greatsword once belonged to her grandmother. Allegedly, it's a gift from the very dragons themselves. Very impressive if true. Only a weapon forged with dragonfire can resist another draconic's weapon's power. Hopefully the ever-burning flame lives up to its name. And this one is about the fire. So let's see if these three go together. Yep. Heir of Dragonfire. Only a weapon forged in dragonfire could ever dream to hold up against the legendary Great Axe of Luckily, a temple in the Highlands houses the ever-burning flame, an ancient gift from the dragons that'll come in handy right about now. And what better sword to reshape this flame than another gift from the Realm Keepers, an heirloom passed down to Caelin with heroism scorched into its very essence. So, we've got 3 quests made. We are feeding Andu, cleaning up the tavern, and calling it a night.